Yo, what's up guys? My name's Elektron, and today I'm going to show you how to make a huge, kind of modern, chill step-ish kind of EDM drop. And I already showed this drop in a video, but I didn't show how to make it. I only showed how to make the leads, which was my last video. This is just a work in progress though, so yeah, just disregard some of the annoying little things about it, but it's there enough to make a dope video for you guys, and I'm gonna teach you some awesome things about it. Don't forget to subscribe for that. Subscribe for nice, awesome tutorials every single day, guys. But yeah, let's get right into this. I'm gonna play it right now. I had a shitty growl here. There we go. Let me try that again. Alright, so it's nice and full and big, and usually that's the question that you guys, have the most is, how do you get that big, clean sound? Well, I'm going to show you how to do that today. Of course, yeah, we had the same growl 2 times. I didn't like that. I mean, obviously, they're just placeholders before I get the real growl sound that I want to get. And I have this growl in my mind. But shitty part about my life is I don't know how to make growls. So I have to outsource and go beg people to make some this desired growl for me, because I don't know anything about doing that, or I just gotta purchase a pack of growls from, some undisclosed dealers. Alright, let's get into it, guys. So, let's go ahead and play the kick and the snare. So, the kick and the snare, I was going for a dubstep sound in those. The kick that I have here is a placeholder, is a house kick, and I didn't realize that at first. I threw it in there. I thought it was a dubstep kick, but when I play it, you're gonna be like, yeah, what the fuck is this guy doing? But it's actually just a house kick, but I will change it. What matters here though is the rhythm. If you want big synths and you want big bass lines and you want big chords, you gotta go a little easy on the drums. If you're going fat on the drums, well then you better have a beat-based song, and this is not really a beat-based song. This is more of an airy kind of synth technical song. So you're going to go a little light on your drums. Couple things I could tell you about this drum, dude. You hear that that's a house kick, dude. I could just imagine hearing that kick in a house song. It just sounds so silly, dude. But anyway, we got the dubstep snare, which is just a regular dubstep snare that I got on splice.com. And it's got a little bit of reverb on it, not much. I was able to use Logic's reverb, which I use when I want a light reverb, because I can't make this a heavy reverb. There's just no way. I suck at doing that with the Logic reverb. That's why I bought Valhalla. But anyway, yeah, just a little bit of reverb, and it sounds like that, and that's it. That's it. There's not even any hi-hats to these drums. I also have this crash here. Crash cymbals bring on loudness. So if you want like an all-out drop like this, where all your layers are coming in and you want the biggest possible sound in your life, then you gotta have some crazy crash on top of everything running all the way through the drop, because it's gonna be the biggest, fattest sound you're gonna get. If without that crash, it just sounds dull. It sounds boring. So let's go ahead and let's hit it up with the lead. I actually changed since the video. It sounds like this. That lead is from, not the reverb though. Where the hell's all that reverb coming from? Damn, that was long. The lead is from Sounds of the Future. It is Sounds of the Future is our new sound bank at alexromesound.com, and it's called New Days. But all it really is a super saw sounding lead. Obviously, we didn't use any saws here when we made the sound, but it's a super saw sounding lead with a lot of like dominating effects, like OTT, big reverbs, H delay, just to bring what we had, that nice little sound, and make it really, really fat. Yeah, so that's what we do. That's what we did. Let me mute this and see what we got muted. Alright, so these pads, I took reference from the Seven Lions Illenium song called Rush Over Me. So go check that song out, listen to the drop, and listen to the pads in the background of that. These are direct takes from that. I was going for that same exact sound. Now the chords are different, but the pads are similar. I can't say they're the same because I'm not in that project. I don't know what they did, but just from my ears, this is what I got. So here's how we break down pads to make them sound wide. This is like one of those more important things. Like every video I ramble a lot, talk a lot, but this is like one of the more important things that you gotta note in this video, because this is going to help you. Let me delete this. I hate unused tracks more than anything. Get those super saw sounds. So like this was just super saw pads, and look, the chords are actually pretty stupid looking, weak chords. I should really step those up. Like look at that, that's 3 notes. Like I couldn't get one more note in there for fanciness. So to make these, we used a saw on oscillator A, a saw on oscillator B. This is just the default saw, and then this is the real saw wave. I don't really know if they sound different. I may have compared them in the past, but I forget what my outcome was. But either way, when you're making a super saw, you just grab your saw waves and you stuff your unison up to as much as you can without your CPU dicking you over. So like, this is as much as I'm going to push it. I used to go 16 and 16 like a boss, but if you do that, you can't have a lot of layers on top of each other, or else your CPU is going to start overkilling, overheating. So this is what I did for that pad, and then I duplicated it down to match it on this ear. So watch this. I took this one and I put it in the right ear. Why am I putting it in the right ear? So I could get another pad and put it in the left ear. But here's the thing, we can't put the same pad in the left ear to complement it, because then you're just going to get like a dull stereo effect. To get the wide stereo effect, we need to go into the left ear and get a different sounding pad than we have here, because you get pad A in your right ear and then pad B in your left ear, and they both sound different. Now it's a wide sound because they sound different. It's just weird. It's how it works though. So and if anything, you're gonna get fat sound anyway, so just do that. So these are gonna be the same pads up an octave, different sound. We got these down an octave lower, these an octave higher, and for some reason, these down the center. What? What? Did that sound like it was triggering to you? It was triggering. I got some... That's weird. I do not remember that. Well, that shouldn't have been like that. That pad should have sounded similar to this one. But yeah, I guess that was... I just threw it in there for God knows what reason. But I'm going to have to fix that to get like a cleaner sound. Unless we're going all plucked pads. But anyway, yeah. That's the pads, guys. Just some super saw pads. Now, I showed you how to make the lead. I showed you how to make the pads. And I showed you how to make the drums. But I didn't show you the really, like, the more important thing. Everything here is important. What am I saying? By the way, go to courses.alexrumsound.com and check out my EDM masterclass. Teach you how to dominate this industry. Let me get rid of those. Anyway, let's go into, we got a white noise layer and we got another white noise layer, but we'll do those, and we got an atmospheric layer, but we'll do those last. Let's go into the basses. These are important because 9 times out of 10, if somebody comes to me in a lesson, they're going to mess the bass up in some way. So let me teach you how bass should be, because if you mess it up, it's like the most important layer that you could mess up. And you have the best chances of messing this one up according to my, my readings. Bass has to be simple. My phone's ringing. Bass has to be simple. Not a lot of unison. Not a lot of layers. If you have too much of those things, your bass can be all over the place. Sub bass especially has to be one single sound going down the center of your stereo image with little things interrupting it. So here we got sub bass right here. If you got good speakers, you could hear this. If you're listening out of a phone or a laptop, you're not going to be able to hear this. So just wait a second. Pure sub bass is always going to be that sine wave. Why? Because it's got no sharp edges. Sharp edges create high frequency artifacts. So if you want pure low dominance, get that sine wave. Get that sine wave cooking. And then we have a layer on this bass. But like I said, keep your layers of bass simple. We're going to have one sub bass, and then you have the actual sound of the bass. There's always 2 parts to a bass. There's the sub range, and then there's the actual sound of the bass. Even in rock and roll, my brother makes rock and roll, so I could test this theory. I spit. I could test this theory that actually works in rock and roll too. So here's what we got. This is gonna be that 200 hertz range bass. I need bass in this area, otherwise you just get this fat hole in your mix, which sometimes it works, depends what you're doing, but like I like to fill this range out with bass lines usually. It depends, like if you skip this bass layer, you could have fatter sounding chords, but I'm not going to skip this bass layer because it's just what I'm comfortable doing. But notice here, even though it's bass, I'm still going to low cut this in the sub range. And then I'm going to slap that on top of my sub bass. And you got a fat bass line right there. So what makes up this bass line? If we go into Serum, it's just a triangle saw with some unison, detuned it that much with a filter. That's it. Yes, even you can make EDM. Here's a couple more things that make this really loud and really fat. Arctic winds has nothing to do with that, so let's ignore that. That's just the atmosphere. The white noises have a lot to do with why this is fat. Without these white noises, it's skinny, man. I got this blasting over the top. You hear that? That's blasting over this drop. That is like fire. Stop calling me. I don't know if you guys can hear my phone just going nuts over there. But it just sounds like somebody spraying air over the top. You can hear it there, and what that's doing is it's just pressing on those frequencies that need to be pressed on. And then we got this, which is a more colorful, airy white noise, which I would prefer to use just that, but I needed a little help from Serum's white noise. This is a Serum white noise, and this is just a clap impact that I looped. I found it on Splice. Ended out working great, just like that. So let's go ahead. And then obviously these little basses are just from a cymatics pack right here, which are, I mean, are cool, but in no way, shape, or form fits the idea I have in my head. And if that's the case, then I'm not going to use them in the end result. So those are just placeholders until I get the rest of my layers in here to make this sound like I didn't whip it up in a day. And there you go, guys. That's how to make a fat EDM drop, 2018 style, something you would hear in today's chill step electronic music. You know, I took inspiration from Seven Lions, Illenium, and this song mainly. Last Heroes Dimensions, heard that guy on No Copyright Sounds YouTube channel, and I went and pretty much copied everything besides, you know, the music theory. So anyway, there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Comment your thoughts, good or bad. Give me a fat like. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. I love you. Peace out.